next time you come into this room, that it be an official meeting and there be minutes, because it's inappropriate and really insulting as a West Hurley resident that you think that this is just a time for us to speak to you and it's not an official meeting.
And we need everybody in this room. We need all of you.
The objective of this meeting wasn't just about the cedar. It was about to bring forth information about multiple
But you
things.
gave us an hour. An hour.
Well, this is the most, this right
And
now is the
you
most
used the
pressing
hour
thing.
for that's fine. And I think I've asked everybody on here, every question, give them the opportunity to speak.
I think
There's also opportunities to come to the town board meeting where there are minutes, where it is recorded. I've always opened up the floor at the end to speak, for anybody to speak. You're always welcome to come to my town board meeting. I can't necessarily tell the chairman of the planning board to do, but I will request that he opens it up at the end.
Thank you.
But you have to understand something, both the planning board and the zoning board, they're independent of us. That's what the law says. So we can make these recommendations to them, whether they follow or not, it's up to
Well,
them.
can we have you all in one room though?
When
Can
you
that
say
happen?
us,
Can you guys ask them?
they're in
Oh, the town board, the town board.
So what is the line of authority? What is the line of authority for the things that we are asking? What's the?
Right now, planning board has the authority.
Yes.
So we should be speaking then to the planning board, which has closed us out. So what you're really saying is, and I appreciate it, I believe it's true, that you don't have any authority even to answer a lot of these questions. So
I found it out the hard way.
we have been, I would say, not accidentally shut out of what's going on here. And the developers are like moving right along
With the
with
planning
the
board.
planning board, and then it's like,
And we can come here to air our grievances, but it doesn't matter, because when I was at the meeting and I heard what they were talking about, that's when I wanted to ask the question, because I want to say, hey, no, it's not like that. I live next door and what you're saying doesn't make sense. It's like this, but you cannot say it. That's when you need to be able to get involved in what they're discussing.
and if it's not
Not
intentional,
here. It's not about airing my grievances. It's about getting something done.
We pass this on though, we take that into consideration.
But you say you pass it on, but you don't have any authority. Who's gonna end up holding the bag? The town is gonna hold the
Yeah,
bag.
but the thing is
planning
though,
board's not gonna end
yeah,
up
we
holding the
don't,
bag.
no, the thing is though, we can't tell them what to do. But we do have influence, we can talk to them about certain things.
You're the ones that are gonna end up responsible. You're the ones that are gonna get the lawsuits. You're the ones that are gonna get the state coming down on you. You're the ones that are gonna get all. So I fail to understand how there can be this division that is really irreconcilable. You're really saying, well, we can pass the info on, but we can't tell them what to do. The town board, you're the one that got the letter from the lawyer. Paul didn't get it, you got it. There's a game being
That was
played
good.
here that's very, very, very sinister, and it's not going to get better.
I'll take three more questions.
I'm just, as the town board, you basically decide who gets appointed to these committees, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you can decide who goes on them, but you have no control over getting rid of somebody.
Like
Do you?
They
Let's
have-
say we
they
have
have,
someone we wanted to get, that we didn't agree with, shouldn't be on one of these, that we would want off. Do you have the ability to make them, remove them from the planning board?
There would be a process, but potentially yes.
Okay, then as everyone here, I think there's a lot of people who are unhappy with the planning board as a whole. And I'm sure there's people in here that would be willing to be on that committee to help be part of the planning board.
It's a tremendous
why don't
amount of time of volunteering your time.
clear shot.
I can tell you it's not a hard, it's an extremely hard position to be in. To sit there, especially when you have something of this magnitude that's coming in front of the folks that are there. They do their best. Their best intentions are for the town. And right now, honestly, I know them individually, and if they were standing here right now, they would be extremely insulted. They've been on this board, some of them for magnitude of decades, 10, 20 years. This is, it's,
Wait, let him finish.
with time,
Let him
with time
finish.
comes
Let him
knowledge. With time comes knowledge. And, you know, honestly, if you're asking me to get rid of somebody because you're unhappy with a situation, I will not do that.
I admire that. I admire that you said that. However, the problem is not the individual. I don't think replacing the chair of the planning board would solve the systemic problem we have here. Replacing that chair of the planning board wouldn't change the fact that we have a basic disconnect between the governance of the town and the approvals of all of it.
I just want to hear you. So you think I'm changing the chair because
No, I'm saying the suggestion that we change the chair would solve the problem.
I'm
It's-
changing the, let me explain why I'm changing the chair. The person that's in the chairmanship right now, Carl Bruckner, was temporary when Matt left. No one has stepped up for the chair except for Paul Economos. Carl Bruckner's son just passed. He would respectfully like to step down as the chair, but continue to stay on the board for the love of the board and the love of the town. Paul has accepted this and is willing to do this. This isn't something that we're doing.
That's not what you're talking
That's not
about.
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I don't think this question is a problem of individuals. I think we have a structural question, a structural problem that is going to come back to bite somebody, and it's gonna be the town board if this thing goes bad. With love for the town, as we know, because of politics, the way the whole country does not prevent special interests, it doesn't prevent corruption, it doesn't prevent people
Yes,
just
Jenna.
letting things happen.
Jenna, please.
You know, we
Excuse me.
can't have a structure that's, where there's no accountability,
I-
and there's no accountability.
I respect your compassion, and I'm hearing you, but
I might have a suggestion of a solution, and you may not like it, you probably won't, but I think we should try to get somebody on the planning board, or chairing the planning board, who is actually now, present tense, a member of Hurley, in the town of Hurley. I think we should work harder to find somebody. No disrespect to Paul at all, but I think it's really important now because there is a big disconnect, and it's getting worse, and there's a lot at stake. There's zoning, there's this, it's much bigger than just even Dannenberg, even though Dannenberg's a pain in the ass. But we really need somebody on that planning board who presents themselves as representing the town of Hurley in a very present way. And even though everybody on the planning board absolutely knows what they're doing, I think that would be important politically and also functionally. I think this room would be a lot calmer about it if we could have somebody on who was actually living in Hurley now and really representing those interests. I'm just putting it forth as an idea.
He's right.
You know.
Frank, did you want to have you had something before you leave?
Live in Hurley and be on the planning board.
Yeah, would it be possible for you guys to maybe move a town board meeting up here so that the older folks in the West Hurley community have Old Hurley, or have the planning board perhaps come up here and have one of our meetings here,
Zoning board.
so that there's
General.
a little bit easier access for the senior citizens as well as the West Hurley community, so that they felt a little bit more a part without having to travel across.
Yeah.
You know, I think that might help alleviate some of the issues that they felt apart and didn't have to travel so far.
Anything regarding Senior East should be here, since it's here. Right
Yep.
here. Not there.
John.
Last question.
Okay, question related to the question Eric asked. There are two board members who are not here tonight who were on the board when the scenic byway was brought and shut down by the board. Why aren't they here tonight?
I can't comment on that. I know Barbara was at Heritage Society meeting, and I can't speak on this. I don't know.
Should we try to resurrect that somehow? Would that, I mean, maybe.
See the byway?
Sure, the responsibility.
See the byway? There was a time constraint on that. There was a time constraint on that. You know, so I don't know if we can revive that. I don't know if there's money that's in the You find out.
I just want to know, do you guys know when the next meeting is so you can announce it so that we can all be there?
Which one's that?
The planning board meeting?
So which one? First Monday of the month. Always the first Monday of the month, that's 7 p.m.
And at this point, it's still in the town of Hurley.
Yes.
And we're
yeah,
gonna try to move it here?
No. I mean, I don't know what the agenda's gonna be. Potentially, I can see the where it would come into effect being if it was a cedar issue, if there was potentially like a public hearing, for example, when they want to conduct that. That's a request we can definitely put forth to the planning board. I don't know what's on the agenda for next month. But what I really would like everybody to do is if you sign on to the townofhurley.org, sign up for the emails, you will get everything. We really advance, we try to pick that up. We send out stuff multiple times, and that's the best communication we have with everybody.
Just a quick question. How many people have used the Town of Hurley website?
Everybody.
Just about everybody. All that information
It's
is there.
clumsy.
Calendar is there.
Very bad website.
Well, at least it's giving you dates. It's giving you information about events. It's a tool that you should use.
What's not up to date?
Yes.
It changed to neighborhood commercial. And, you go Route 28 overlay, and you want to see the code. It still has ours.
We have about 7:15. I want to thank everybody for coming. So I appreciate your input.
Thank you.
And
We have a town board meeting Monday.
town board meeting